Welcome back. Now, first things first, I want to make sure the person who made this gets credit. It is very impressive, and they say that they made it in mobile, which is even more impressive. This is something I had on my to-do list. I was just thinking all of Tamriel, the whole continent, sort of a war between all the regions. But then someone made this Skyrim map, and I was like, let's just do the cities in Skyrim battling. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make all the strongholds and have them fight. We might actually add some dragons. Just a heads up, it's been a long time since I've played Skyrim, so just go easy on me if I, mess something up. Okay, there we go. Let the games begin. So let's go ahead and turn rebellions off, but same race wars on. Animal spawns. Looks good. I wish there was a way to customize the disasters and just make it like set custom ones, so like maybe there's a chance for a dragon to show up every now and then. Like that'd be kind of cool. So far Windhelm has the highest population, not by much. Actually, nope, Morthal just took the lead. Winterhold's up in there. I think locationally speaking, Riften's probably got the worst spot just because it's so sandwiched up against the mountains here. They do have a lot of land to expand to, so hopefully they will. But yeah, their starting spot is not great. Markarth out here. Markarth also has a great starting spot. Tons of land to themselves. I think the ones that we'll see do the worst are the ones that started in the middle. What we've seen in the past is whoever's in the middle tends to get kind of bullied by everyone around them. Like Morthal has kind of a triangle around them right now. Whiterun, similar thing. At least they've got a little more room. But the towns that have the most room to expand into are probably Markarth, Falkreath, and Riften. They pretty much all have a pretty good amount of land right outside their borders that they can move into. Isn't that nice? I think once we hit year 1000, maybe a little bit further, but at some point I do want to spawn a couple dragons and spread them out. But I want to spawn a couple dragons because it feels very relevant to the game. Windhelm is struggling big time. Winterhold is already expanding down the mountains. I don't think I've seen any wars declared yet, but I think there's fighting going on. I'm just not sure who's fighting who at the moment. Whiterun's population is fluctuating quite a bit. Let's go ahead and turn off sonic speed. Very cool. Let's keep it on like ×3 though. Okay, they moved up into the mountains. Oh no, there's corrupted biome up here? Ooh, I don't know if I like that. Yeah, we're gonna box that up. I don't want the corrupted to be part of this. Kind of random of them to put that there, to be honest. It doesn't really make any sense. Okay, we got Riften doing what I was hoping they would do. Kind of getting this little U-shaped thing around the water. Moving up into a little more fertile lands. Is this, what is this called? Dawnguard? What's the DLC called? Is it Dawnguard? It's been a very long time. But isn't this like that vampire hunter fort? I think that's where that was. Maybe it was a little further south. I feel like it was closer to Riften, but I don't know why else you'd make a point to put these buildings up here. Okay, who's in the lead right now? It looks like we got Markarth in the lead. Interesting. And Dawnstar? I wouldn't have expected Dawnstar. Maybe just because in the game it's such a small town compared to the rest of them. But yeah, like I said, Morthal kind of having a rough time here, being in the center. I haven't seen anyone fighting them, but I think it must have been happening because they have the lowest population by like double. Like the next lowest one is Riften, who has 150. So yeah, they're having a rough time out here. Are there like monsters in the swamp? What's going on? There's orange sheep. Huh, you can't handle a couple of sheep? Solitude looking good. Expanding up into the mountains. I'm tempted to give someone in Winterhold a wizard staff though. Let's do that. Let's say that you are the archmage. I don't know if you'll have a chance to do anything with this, but go ahead, have it. Archmage. Congratulations. You've been promoted. Okay, we're almost to year 1000, which is when I said I'd spawn some dragons. It's tempting. It really is. But I'm not sure I'm going to do it yet. I think I want some real wars to begin before we do that. Dawnstar's doing really well. Oh, actually, they expanded out to here. I was going to say they're doing really well, but they've almost hit their limit. But if you see, they actually have a village down here by Whiterun. And they also have one across the water here up by Solitude. So Dawnstar's doing really good at expanding. Markarth is as well, but they haven't expanded much outside of their own area. So they might get boxed in anyway. The biggest detriment to kingdoms is getting closed into an area so that you can no longer expand. We got Solitude and Markarth fighting over here. Nice. It looks pretty evenly matched right now, but it looks like Solitude's doing most of the pushing, which is interesting. They're the smaller of the two, but they seem to be a little more aggressive, although now Markarth is fighting back. Oh, look at that. Markarth doing some damage out here. What's your guys' favorite town or city in Skyrim? Because I feel like everyone's got different ones. Like I said earlier, I love the style of Markarth being like an old dwarven architecture. Solitude is probably the one I spent the most time in because I just love its location. I love how it's all just made of stone. I think my house was there. My first house was there. I think it's the best house in the game, actually, if I remember correctly. All the different cities have such unique personalities to them, although some of them I wouldn't really call cities. Some of them are more just like towns. Whiterun just declared war on Morthal. That's not good news for Morthal, as if they're not under enough stress right now. Oddly enough, I think my least favorite town is probably Whiterun. Maybe it's just because you spend so much time there in the beginning part of the game, but I just hate its location so much. It's just in the middle of just nothingness. You're just in some ugly plains. And then the town is like, you know, it's got its own style, but it's just such a bunch of like cabin looking houses, you know. It's very like northern feeling. It's probably the most Nord town of them all, but I don't hate it, but I'd probably rank it the lowest. Okay, Dawnstar still #1 in population, and even their village out here is doing okay. Oh dang, look at this. Is this all Whiterun? It is. Okay, that might be doom for the main Falkreath area. What else do we got going on? Riften is expanding slowly, but I feel like they kind of have this whole area to themselves. There's a little bit of fighting going on up here, but look at that. Markarth takes the lead. Dawnstar's getting attacked by someone. Winterhold, kind of eyeing them up right now. I like that Dawnstar is being so active with boats. They were kind of a seaside town anyway. Winterhold is dropping. I expected a little more out of Winterhold, honestly, but they do have kind of a corner thing going on, and they have not expanded enough downwards. Like, this is where they started. They have only moved like just a few feet downwards. Falkreath hovering around 70 and 80 population. Whiterun straight up taking it over. Kind of chaos down here. I'm thinking that Falkreath will be the first to go. I thought for sure it'd be Morthal though, because they're in the middle, but for whatever reason, like, no one has the guts to go all the way in there and finish them off, although it might be happening right now. This don't look good, that's for sure. Whiterun, look at that. They were doing so well, but Riften came up in here. Look at that. Whoa, Dawnstar took over this village. What if Whiterun's the first to go? Although Morthal, one of these three is gonna go. This isn't looking good. All the ones in the middle are gonna go. Oh, look at that. Dawnstar came over here and just started wiping out Solitude from the other side. Yeah, that's crazy. Whiterun was doing really well. Then they had a huge push on Falkreath, and I think while they were down there fighting them, it looks like Dawnstar and Riften kind of came in and whooped them up. Look at that. 30s. Dang, dude. Look at that. Dang, Markarth just took out the center of Solitude. So now Solitude's split into two, which never works well. They're super weakened now. And they got Dawnstar behind them and Markarth in every direction. Like, this village is so screwed. Where are you gonna go, dude? Swim? Okay, Falkreath is down to the last few buildings here over in the corner. They might have a chance to live a little longer because they're not really next to anyone. They have a little bit of a gap, but we'll see if anyone is aggressive enough to go over there anyway. Riften is being delightfully aggressive. They spent a little while over here in their corner, but they just decided to go all out. They took over the mountains. They took over, what's this called? Riverwood out here? Helgen. And now they've got Falkreath. And there's just a little bit of Falkreath left over here. Sheesh. Oh, Whiterun's gone. Whiterun has been eliminated. Wow. Rest in peace. I did not think they were going to be the first ones to go. Look at Markarth, dude. 1,200. Insane. I'm happy because I told you at the beginning this is my favorite town, so I'm happy with that. I am really surprised it was Whiterun that's first to go. I thought for sure it'd be Morthal. They've just been getting beaten up the whole game so far, but they're still alive. Okay, looks like Markarth is now starting to threaten these lands a little bit here. Hang in there, Falkreath. You were never going to win this thing, but at least you weren't the first one gone. It's really going to come down to Markarth versus Riften, I think. Oh no, Solitude. Solitude, no! Dang, look at that. Oh man. Solitude's getting blasted right now, down to the 20s. 15. 9. It's over. It's over for Solitude. Solitude is gone. That's a sad moment. Markarth is killing it, dude, and they have access to all this land now too, as long as Dawnstar doesn't get it, but even if they do, I think they'll wipe them out. Falkreath is now getting wiped out too. Oh, Riften just took it over. Falkreath is gone. They're dropping like flies. Something tells me that Morthal ain't gonna last that much longer. Looks like Dawnstar took over this side. It's all down to this. Hang in there, bud. So we're down to pretty much the final 4. You know, Morthal's still here, but we all know they're not gonna win it. Although you never know. Winterhold, I think, will probably be the next one to go after Morthal. Although it depends on whether or not Markarth goes for Dawnstar. Because Dawnstar's kind of in the middle here. But they could push backwards and take over Winterhold. And then they could have access to like this whole top of the map. But something tells me that maybe Dawnstar's location will get it screwed. Where if all these 3 other big ones push in to Dawnstar, they might get wiped out. Now actually it looks like it's happening. Their population is dropping really quickly. Looks like we got Markarth down here. Oh, whoa, this just flipped over to Winterhold. They pushed through. Now Dawnstar is split up into 3 sections. Okay, just kidding then. What if Dawnstar goes before Morthal does? That'd be hilarious. For whatever reason, people are just leaving them alone. It's like they feel bad or something. They're at war with everyone. I would say that Markarth is going to take the win here. But Riften has so much land to expand into without having to fight anyone, that if Markarth stays busy fighting Dawnstar and Morthal, Riften could catch up. But Markarth's land is just so good. They got such good land out here. Look how much they've just built these like rows of houses through the mountains. Dawnstar's hanging in there, hovering around 400. Winterhold's staying steady at 300. Morthal staying steady at 34 and 35. Wait a minute, did I see 33 for a second there? Oh! Dawnstar took this back from Winterhold. Okay, because Winterhold was pushing through and Dawnstar just took it back. So they're no longer separated into 3. Population up to 500. They are bringing it. Oh, what the heck? Markarth just took it over after it was taken over. If Winterhold can't have it, no one can have it. Dang, okay. It's still hilarious that Morthal is like next to all the fighting, but not involved in it. Markarth is like going around them to fight Dawnstar. Morthal's just watching over the water like, okay. Markarth has limits, you know? Look at that. Markarth has stayed around 1400. Riften was at 600, now they're at 800. They might be able to catch up and actually be a problem for Markarth. Dawnstar still doing okay. It's kind of the beginning of the end for them because they keep getting separated and Markarth is after them right now. But their population is staying pretty strong. Look at this army right here. They're just watching Morthal. I like that Morthal has not exceeded 35 this whole time. They just like gave up on expanding. They're just like, we're good. I wonder if our wizard friend is still alive. Nope. The archmage died at some point. Should we do dragons now? I either want to do dragons now or maybe wait till there's like 2 kingdoms left. The dragons aren't going to do that much because these kingdoms are pretty strong, but let's do it. Let's slow the game speed down to 1. Normal speed so we can actually watch what happens. Let's put 1 over here, 1 over here, and then 1 over Whiterun. Just like at the beginning of the game. Okay, we got 1 flying over Riften here. Or, you know, the mountains. It's not really Riften. These 2 move towards each other, so that's not good for Riften. What's this one doing? Oh, don't go towards Morthal, please. They've had enough. Okay, dragons doing some damage out here, but not going to be that big of a deal for Riften. Oh no, Morthal is getting wiped out. Not even by the dragon. Oh, bad timing. Morthal is already getting wiped out. Okay, no. Yeah, you go away. Dang, Markarth is killing off Morthal, but then look at this. Dawnstar's pushing down. Trying to do a little counter attack here. We got the dragons over here still. Gotta be close to killing them. These guys all have bows. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why are these guys so strong? Don't they kill these guys sometimes? Alright, that's enough. You guys are way too strong. I forgot how strong the dragons are. I've had it happen before where I spawn the dragons and then they just instantly die because everyone kills them so quick. But they, for whatever reason, did all that damage and then still almost had full health. So that's not what I want to do. I don't want to run the experiment here by having dragons wipe out Riften. So they did some damage, but let's just say that the Dragonborn came in and killed them. Okay, Morthal is officially gone. We are down to the final 4 here. At this point in the game, we might have to fast forward a lot because it's going to be a while before anything too crazy happens. So let's go ahead and go Sonic Speed for a moment. Riften is catching up, dude. 1200. What if Riften wins this? Markarth has been stuck at 1400 for a long time. I'm surprised no one's moved out here into Whiterun territory. Because if Markarth has kind of maxed out what it can do with its existing land, but if they're aggressive enough, they could take over this peninsula here. and that would really help them and weaken Dawnstar. But they're just not doing anything fast enough, and Riften's about to break 1,300, and they still have more land to branch into. And they were the ones that got bullied by the dragons too. Riften might be the underdog that takes, oh, 1,700, what happened? Are they taking over this village? How did they jump up so much in population? 1,700? Did a bunch of people from Dawnstar just like switch teams? Huh? It's interesting that I said Riften had the worst starting spot, because they did, kind of. I mean, they had a good starting spot in the sense that they had lots of room to move into, but it took them a long time to get started because they had this little corner here, and they were just trying to deal with this crowded mountainous edge here. But since no one really pushed into these lands before they did, they were able to just keep expanding without too much resistance. Yeah, Dawnstar, they were doing so well, but like I was wondering if they would push back and take over Winterhold, or if Winterhold would push forward and take them over. It looks like Winterhold's doing a lot better. Probably because Dawnstar has to deal with Markarth and Winterhold, whereas Winterhold just pretty much has to deal with itself. Because Riften has not really done much to them except for this area, and that's about it. But yeah, Dawnstar getting wiped out up here. This will probably flip to Markarth's side pretty soon here. Yeah, it's going down, man. Dawnstar got pushed back to this final area here. Winterhold took this whole area over. We're down to like the big three here. And this Dawnstar is not going to last long because Markarth has been just attacking it non-stop. Riften is almost completely caught up to Markarth in population though, which is crazy. They stretch across more than half the map in both directions. All the way up, all the way over. The only problem is they do still kind of have this corner thing going on where, I mean, Winterhold has a really good situation now where they own so much of the map. Although seeing how it's all laid out, I expect Winterhold and Markarth to fight now while Riften kind of like sneaks across the edge here. Look at that, they just took over population. They just passed up Markarth. I definitely did not expect this. They need to take this over up here. They need this land. Just do it, just finish them off. You're wasting so much time. Winterhold breaks 1,000. Bro, I was planning on fast forwarding until Dawnstar went away, but Dawnstar is still doing just fine. Like, they're not doing great, but for whatever reason, Markarth hasn't pushed up into this main area. They just keep coming down here and kind of keeping the population around 180, 190. But what I am seeing here is Riften now doubles the population of Markarth, and Winterhold is threatening to pass them up as well. I don't know what happened here, but they're falling apart. They were doing so well. They were like the undeniable strongest one at the beginning, but for whatever reason, they have just been lacking. They've spent way too much time bickering with Dawnstar. Meanwhile, Riften just slowly eats away at the edges of their borders, and Winterhold just takes over the entire region. Crazy. This is honestly kind of frustrating to watch at this point. Just watching Winterhold and Riften just totally get beefed up. And Markarth has still not finished off Dawnstar. They're still over here fighting on the edge, and this whole main area just is chilling. Like, they just don't even, they're just so unbothered. They keep sending in a huge army and then leaving. Okay, that's actually the lowest I've seen it, 160. But still, I'm like, dude, Winterhold is over 3,000. You're still at 2,000. Riften's about to break 5,000. Like, Markarth had everything, and they just are wasting so much time with Dawnstar. Just finish off Dawnstar, take over the land, move out here in the fields, and then, you know, chip away. It's, like, honestly too late at this point. It's going to be between Riften and Winterhold. I would say Riften's going to win this for sure, but since they're still kind of along the edge here, and Winterhold kind of has freedom to move over this whole part of the map without too much resistance, they might have a chance as well. So I'm really curious to see what happens, but man, just get rid of Dawnstar already. There we go, come on. Do it, finish them off, clear it out. 4, 3. Taking all the boats out here too, I think that's all that's left. There we go. You did it. You took out Dawnstar. It only took you 500 years to do it. Congratulations. Okay, so Markarth isn't out of this yet. We're down to the final three. Riften, Winterhold, and Markarth. They do have access to all this land that they could take over pretty safely because it's blocked by the swamp and the river. And then this whole area they could expand into. Winterhold and Riften don't really have anywhere left to expand to without war. They finally took out Dawnstar and they can finally expand again. So let's see. Okay, we've got Riften and Winterhold almost tied right now, and Markarth just broke 4,000. So they're actually doing okay. Like I was hoping, they've expanded into some of the land that they have access to. Can they catch up? I'm not really sure. It really is up to Riften and Winterhold to kind of fight it out, and then Markarth is kind of just the awkward third wheel. So there's going to be a lot of fast forwarding here because this part of the game takes forever. I do want to get to the point where we have a clear winner. So just you know, there's really nothing interesting to watch right now. You know, you've got 50 people pushing in, getting killed every now and then. It's really going to depend on whose population grows fastest to the point where they have to keep expanding. So we got like a big army down here, but they just kind of fight along the edges and then they go back. No one's really committed to wiping anyone out yet. So we'll let it run and I'll check back in a minute. Alright guys, I have been filming for over 2 hours now. We just had Winterhold break 6,000, which I kind of mentally decided that would be our winning condition. I also was thinking we'd end it around 3,000, year 3,000, and just see who had the most. So both those things kind of happened around the same time. Winterhold's been fluctuating, but they have been slowly gaining on everyone else. I wish you could just like time jump and just say, okay, what happens if we skip ahead to year 6,000? That's obviously not possible, but for stuff like this, when the world is so big, I would love to get a defined winner, but this is never going to go anywhere. I even turned off hunger and old age so that you don't have people dying from natural causes. That way there's more population. That way they're able to push more. I thought maybe that would help, but nothing's happening here. And I think we kind of got the result we wanted to, although now that I'm saying this, dude, Markarth just took the lead. But all in all, this pretty much has been a back and forth of them kind of taking the lead, but not really. I think they're just too big to really ever wipe each other out. Pretty much the rate at which they're able to kill each other is the rate at which they're repopulating. So honestly, part of me wants to say Winterhold won, part of me wants to say Markarth would win, part of me wants to say it's just going to be a tie because it's really unclear who would win. Riften, I'm going to say, would not be the winner here because even though they're not too far behind, their land is not good. They're spread super thin. All it would take is Winterhold to cut down, say, through here and then cut them off into 2 sections, and then they could just slowly attack them while they're weakened and separated like that. So that would be there's multiple scenarios in which Riften would get wiped out next. And seeing as they can't really push out anywhere into these big blocks of land that these two have, I'm happy with it being these two. Markarth is one of my favorite places. Winterhold is, I'm sure, lots of people's favorites. It's a great place. Riften is a great one. It's a pretty nice last 3 here. If I had to guess though, I would say Winterhold takes this one. Winterhold has the most land. I think they would have taken it. Video's got to end eventually, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe.